Hey guys, what is going on? This is the Club of the Man 1993 coming at you for a live review that I wasn't too sure about doing at first, especially, with the episode of Raw we had tonight and the circumstances we had. But I'm not going to deny, I got a little home earlier from, my holiday events. So I was just, looking through some of my other Christmas gifts, and I just thought, what the heck, just put on Raw to see what happens. So I thought, if there is some good things to talk about, I'll talk about that. I wanted to also just express my thoughts though also about how disturbed or how disappointed I am in WWE for doing what they did this year, having Raw live on Christmas Day. A surprise, even though I don't know if this was true or not. Apparently, we were sold out in Chicago tonight. I was surprised by that. The crowd had some good crowd reactions at some points, although we heard the CM Punk chants as well tonight, which, bothered me because, as much as I would love to see CM Punk back, guys, I'm sorry. In my opinion, he's not coming back. But we had some things, interesting things happen. Well, only really two really interesting things happened tonight on Raw as far as I'm concerned. So I'm just going to breeze through this review pretty quickly also, and just talk about, some small things that happened. Also, before we get started, I just want to say also, Merry Christmas, of course, as today is Christmas. I'm wearing my elf hat for the for this review. Just a couple little things to show you I got for Christmas. I got an AJ Styles Phenomenal 1 t-shirt. As you may have seen my my t-shirt revealing video, since I couldn't do an unboxing video because I had to unwrap the gift. It's long sleeve, so it's cool with me. I can use some more long sleeve shirts. And also, to my sister, if you can hear me in the next room, she got me this really nice GoPro camera. So hopefully I will be not just using this for my professional career, but also maybe I'll use this for some of my videos on here as well. So just wanted to, point those, share a couple gifts. I had a couple, there were cool odds and ends. I got like a virtual reality viewer thing I want to check out. I got GPS, got some new clothes, new pajamas, which I'm pretty glad because I needed that. But overall, I had a good Christmas. I enjoyed it. Hope you guys did as well. So without further ado, again, let's get into this quick review of Raw. I'm just going to breeze right through. Not going to really talk about too much. Again, the thing about this Raw that just made me aggravate was that it was live. Now, I know, there's a lot of sports, football especially, that have events, live events on holidays. But the thing is, it's not the same people every single year. I'm not that into football, but I understand, with how, much attention it grabs across the country, across the United States, in Africa, in Asia, wherever you get the attention at. It's a good product. People are going to watch it. With how inconsistent the WWE is these days, unfortunately, I don't see that the case also. So if you want to, have some show on, do what they used to do. In fact, 2012, they did tapings for the shows happening on Christmas and whatnot, instead of having it being live, so that way the superstars can spend time at the holidays. They spend 250, 300 days a year on the road, and you can't even give them Christmas Day off. It's a shame. So this year they do it live. So why should we? If it's around a time of the year where nothing really matters and no one really cares in the product, it just aggravates me that they did this live. I thought at first with the announcement of some of the things that happened tonight, I thought it was just going to be a waste. But a couple little things that actually was pretty good that I enjoyed. And I will talk about those, as I said, a little bit later in this review. Tina Coupon, what's up, man? Yes, I did have a good Christmas. I hope you did as well, buddy. But yeah, let's just breeze through this review real quick because I don't want to, waste my time too much on this. Here's something that I was a little aggravated about. So John Cena was announced that he was going to be appearing on this episode of Raw. Now, this clearly showed that, this is most likely a one-off appearance from John Cena. If he shows up on Raw next week, I would be super surprised. But this was a one-off appearance. I heard rumors that John Cena was possibly going to be accepting Roman Reigns' Intercontinental Championship Open Challenge. I was cool with that. When I heard that rumor, I'm like, okay, if that's the case, then sure. They had the match they had at No Mercy. The match they had wasn't too bad at No Mercy. I just didn't like, what happened afterwards. It felt like the air was let out of the tire from that whole feud. So I was a little bit disappointed with that. So I thought, okay, at least it's going to get a match for your Continental title would have been nice too. And yes, the CM Punk chants, I already addressed those. Sorry, guys, you got to accept that he's, not going to be around. He's not coming back at all. But anyways, so I thought, okay, that's the case. That'll be cool. That's all we got. We had John Cena come out, just hype up the crowd for being Christmas. He gave him his hat and T-shirt to a special needs child, though, which I thought that was a nice move, and it was well appreciated. But then Elias came out, and then he starts singing songs about how he could celebrate Christmas in somewhere better than Chicago. And John Cena was just basically, this is all scripted dialogue, just saying how much of it, just saying, you're being a jerk to these people, whatnot. John Cena sounded like a 5-year-old. You're being a jerk. You're being a jerk. Scripted stuff. And it just led to a match that, yeah, it looked like, I looked at the highlights just for the heck of it because I didn't see all of Raw live. I just checked out some highlights, though, for some things. John Cena pretty much, Elias got some offense on him. It wasn't as bad as the match he had with Corbin at SummerSlam. But John Cena pretty much just came here just to, beat Elias. It looked like, just a special guest, on the show just coming by to beat, like, an upcoming star just for the heck of it. It just showed that WWE just announced that John Cena was going to be coming back just to give viewers to watch tonight's show. I was disappointed with that. So, yeah, that wasn't too good of a start. Wish that Elias would have hit Cena with the guitar. Well, because, again, with the inconsistency, these days, you feel that, Elias doesn't want to hurt people with his guitar, but then he apparently doesn't make roster, cool, whatever. In the case, I don't care about what Elias uses as a guitar. I just want him booked well. He's the guy who I'm hoping gets a solid mid-card push in 2018. I was hoping for at least, maybe I'm going to do a bold predictions video sometime in the next couple of days for 2018. And I thought about maybe saying him being Money in the Bank. I don't know. I might be pushing a little too far because I feel like he at least should be just a mid-card push in 2018 at least. Not world title main event push yet, but I wouldn't say him Money in the Bank yet. But I'll talk about that more if I get the time to do my bold predictions video this week, which I'll try to do that before Saturday if I do that. So that's what happened there. Backstage, we had Kurt Angle setting up a tree, and then Jason Jordan, Seth Rollins again go to him, saying they both want a match against Samoa Joe. Instead, Kurt Angle puts them into a tag team match for the tag titles against the Bar. And he says Roman Reigns is going to be fighting Samoa Joe for the Intercontinental Championship. All right. We had Hideo Itami defeat the Brian Kendrick just to build him up again. Match was what it was. And then throughout the night, we have Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel backstage singing, like parodies of different Christmas songs. I think the first one was "Joy to the World," just parodies based on how The Miz is awesome. And they were trying to sing it to Sasha Banks, Bayley, and Mickie James, and they just weren't fazed by it. They just walked away. Okay, whatever. Then we had a match. It was a 6-woman tag match. We've seen this match already. How many times? Absolution, Paige, Mandy Rose, and Sonya Deville taking on Sasha, Bayley, and Mickie. Again, it keeps giving Absolution a lot of great momentum, building them up as a strong heel stable. But how many times they're going to be? Is that all they're going to be fighting? Just Bayley, Mickie James, and Sasha Banks again? Because 3/4 of the women's roster on the main roster is nothing but heels, so they have no fresh opponents unless they want to do heel on heel matchups or whatever. But not going to pull the trigger on that, and don't even think about getting Asuka involved in any of these tag matches because, you're going to, if you do that, you're going to do exactly what you did to Shinsuke Nakamura on SmackDown, not making him feel like his own, not making him feel like, like the Japanese Brock Lesnar or whatever. Like, Brock doesn't have any friends. Brock's not in tag matches, But, yeah, the match, again, was all right. Gave Absolution more momentum, but we've seen it how many times. We had Samoa Joe being interviewed backstage. This interview was a tad bit awkward because Joe mentions that now that Dean Ambrose is injured, he can certainly spend the holidays with his loved ones back at home. And him and Renee look at each other. It's like, you look like, he could be spending with you since you're his wife or whatnot. But it was just that little awkward pause. It's like, yeah, I know. But it's pretty much just interviewing him, hyping him up later on for his Intercontinental title match against Roman Reigns. Which also an update today. I talked the other day about how Dean Ambrose apparently was rumored out for 2 to 3 months. Now rumors have it that he may not be back for 9 months. So the injury is a little more severe than we thought. So yeah, that really sucks. So I'm hoping for at least we get if Roman Reigns really is that aggravated with Samoa Joe for what he's been doing to his brothers and whatnot, then he's gonna go out there. He's just gonna beat the living crap out of Joe. That's what I was hoping we would get later on, but we'll get to that later on as well. Live chat: T and Coupons, could Elias win the Intercontinental title after Reigns wins the Universal title? He could, but I kind of am hoping that Joe eventually comes out the victor in this feud as the Intercontinental Champion. But if it ends up getting put on Elias, sure, I'd like that as well. But that was that. So we have, again, last week it was announced that we're going to have Braun Strowman and Kane both facing Brock Lesnar in a triple threat match for the Universal Championship. Well, tonight both of them were in squash matches. We had Kane taking on Heath Slater and involved in this whole storyline with Rhino's trying to make Heath Slater tough again. And all Kane did was just squash both Slater and Rhino. Whatever. And then we had another squash match. It was Kurt Hawkins. When was the last time we saw him on Raw? Who cares? Who is now 148 going into this match. And who's he? It's just an open challenge. Like, okay, I heard rumors of Rockstar Spud maybe debuting. I thought maybe we were going to get him or something appearing, or somebody else. We're going to make our main roster debut or whatnot. No, we didn't get that. Not even close. We had Finn Balor come out because Finn Balor just does squash matches these days. Finn Balor and Kurt Hawkins. Whatever. Balor wins. Balor's just someone who just puts some pointless matches and wins, but not getting anywhere, unfortunately, because he's not over the crowd. So whatever. Then we had the Miz Taraj backstage again. They gave Goldust a copy of Santa's Little Helper, which they mentioned that the Miz was in it. They didn't mention that Paige was in it though. And we saw it clear on the cover. And then and he tries to regift it to Titus O'Neil, and Goldust is a little, and then it startles Titus that he throws the DVD like way over his head and whatnot, which gave me a chuckle, but I'm like, whatever. Then we had this next backstage segment with Sheamus and Cesaro exchanging Christmas gifts, which is pretty much just a bunch of WWE action figures, probably just to say, hey, buy these whatnot. We had Dean Ambrose without his arm missing, and then Seth Rollins, Jason Jordan, like, oh, we're going to break these. So it's like, all right, cool, whatever. Just show off your merchandise. And then we had this match. As I said before, these holiday gimmick matches only work for certain people. Now, if Enzo and Cass were together, I could see that these matches working for them. The only time I think I've actually enjoyed like this type of match, which I'm not saying like oh, this was awesome, but last time I think I actually enjoyed like someone like, all right, this wasn't too bad. Like I didn't mind sitting through that. Was I think when Dean Ambrose and Bray Wyatt had that Miracle on 34th Street fight when they were feuding back in 2014. Other than that, I've seen, let me see here. I've seen this. I can't remember what it was last year. I mean, the only one I can remember off the top of my head, because again, it was my first ever WWE event I attended, was the TV tapings back in 2012 for the Christmas episodes of Raw and SmackDown when Santa killed Del Rio and he fought John Cena in a Miracle on 34th Street fight. It was. I just remember Cena just bowling a bowling ball right in between Del Rio's crotch, whatever it was. But this didn't work for the cruiserweights. They had Enzo come out with Drew Gulak, and I can't remember who the other one was. And Arya Daivari. It was Amore dressed up as Santa, and Gulak and Daivari dressed up as Christmas elves. and they were facing a team of Cedric Alexander, Mustafa Ali, and Akira Tozawa. It didn't work for the cruiserweights. This would work for Enzo and Cass back when they were at their hottest, but depending on who the opponents were taking on, this stuff just does not work at all. It was stupid. You're just taking a smash show with a couple of presents and whatnot. Boring, pointless match. The face team win of Alexander, Tozawa, and Ali. Then we had this backstage segment where I was not looking, and I thank Alexa Bliss for saving this segment. Backstage, we have Enzo Amore walking around, and all of a sudden he runs into Nia Jax, who's recently been smitten by Enzo Amore out of nowhere, and says, "How you doing?" And I remember before this happened, I saw this backstage segment. I'm like, "Oh goodness, this is going to lead to something between Enzo and Nia." And the first thing I was thinking of was, please don't tell me you're going to have her dressed up as Mrs. Claus. Please don't tell me they're going to do that. Please don't. They didn't, but still, this whole thing with Enzo and Nia makes no sense at all. And also, Nia Jax should be built up as a freaking monster. And again, not just half doing it with her at all. Instead of just going around flirting with Enzo Amore, like, why? And then, you see it was another, I didn't get to watch it, but another, not backstage on Raw, but it's like fallout or thing for the mixed tag match where Nia was trying to get Braun Strowman to team with her. It's like, why are we doing this to Nia? Just let her be just a dominating monster she should be, not just Enzo Amore's lover. So they, they're just talking, just flirting a little bit. And then there's mistletoe, and I was like, well, what do we got over here? Some mistletoe. And they're about to share a kiss under the mistletoe before Alexa Bliss interrupts, saying we got to discuss stuff for the Women's Royal Rumble. So thank you, Alexa, for saying that. I literally could not look. I'm sorry, I could not look because I just don't understand this one at all. I do not. I'm sorry. Let me see here. Been even funny if the DVD would have hit someone. Yeah, it would have. Bray versus Hardy would have been a great Miracle on the 34th Street fight. Yes, it could have. WWE needs to drop the Enzo and Nia love storyline. Yes, please. Wonder after Enzo breaks her heart, then Nia turns into a monster. Could be, but yeah, they need to pull the plug on this. This is gonna. I don't know. This could be worse than Alicia Fox getting involved with Noam Dar and Cedric Alexander. And that was atrocious. My worst storyline of the year for 2017, by the way, in case you didn't catch our year in review awards. Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot to mention that though as well. We had Bray Wyatt appearing, and he says briefly just about Matt Hardy and whatnot, what he's been going through lately as he's transformed the Woken Matt Hardy. Comes down to the ring, the lights come on, they have a little bit of a beatdown. It's like, all right, it's cool for what it was, but whatever. It was Matt. It was, I think it was Woken Matt Hardy for the first time, live in person hasn't been arrived. So for what it was all right. I completely forgot about that actually. Thanks for mentioning that feud, T and Couponer. This, though, I thought wasn't too bad. This, actually, I was kind of interested in what happened. So they were having the Intercontinental Championship match. Roman Reigns taking on Samoa Joe. Now, first, when it was announced, I'm like, why are you wasting this on a show like this that isn't going to, people are not going to care about at all whatsoever? So at first, I was mad, but what this led to, I'm like, okay, cool. But I like how this was executed very well because, as I said before, I wanted to see Roman Reigns come out there and just be pissed and just wanted to beat the living crap out of Samoa Joe for what he has been doing, to his brothers, Seth Rollins, and for, taking Dean Ambrose out of action. And that's exactly what he did. He came out there and he just went after Joe. I mean, not as intense as it probably could have gotten, but, for what we got, I liked. And then, now here's the thing also. They started kind of doing what they did when Reigns started feuding with Triple H before they messed up that feud, where he was like, the match ended. I mean, the match itself wasn't too bad, but I know they didn't have a better match than this, but it's fine if this feud's continuing. What they did was just fine. It was just fine and dandy. The match ends when Roman Reigns pushes the referee to get him out of the way, and he loses by by disqualification. Therefore, Joe winning. Unfortunately, though, the title didn't change. And afterwards, Reigns just snapped and did like a big beatdown on Joe, hitting with steel steps, trying to break his hand a few times. He just unleashed his anger. It wasn't as brutal a beatdown as any of the beatdowns between him and Reigns and Triple H were. But I'm like, okay, awesome. Hoping they add a stipulation. Looking forward to seeing where the story goes. So, again, props to that. Again, just continue to book Reigns like this, and his Intercontinental title reign is going to be fine. Again, I said before, T.N. Coupon suggested maybe dropping the title to Elias. I'm cool with that. I personally think, though, this should lead to a match at the Royal Rumble between Reigns and Joe for the Intercontinental title, and hopefully Joe wins the Intercontinental title. But don't have Roman win the Royal Rumble later on tonight. Have Shinsuke win the Royal Rumble, Vince, okay? But again, that was probably the highest point of the show for me. Let me see here. Joe versus Reigns, last man standing. Yeah, it should be good. It wouldn't be too bad of an idea. I'll take last man standing. I wonder if it would outdo Owens and Ambrose at the 2016 Royal Rumble last man standing. But I'd take a last man standing match between Reigns and Joe. Sure, good idea. Then we had Braun Strowman squashing the Miz Taraj in a Secret Santa's handicap match after the match. And just for the heck of it afterwards, Braun Strowman, gives us Christmas presents, hitting them with more power slams just for the fun of it. Again, that's the two guys who have taken on Brock Lesnar in a month. So squash matches for them tonight. Brock is returning, though, next week, though. We're going to be addressing his opponents. Oh, and also next week, we're going to be getting the Cruiserweight title match between Enzo and Cedric Alexander. I hope, though, that they are because at first, they were probably going to go with Rich Swann facing Enzo Amore for the Cruiserweight title before they put Cedric Alexander in there. I hope they'll make Alexander lose to Amore. If you want to have, Cedric win here and, have his rematch at the Rumble, cool. Or if you have, like a fluke finish, I don't care. Just don't have Cedric Alexander lose this feud to Amore because it would be dumb. And again, you can have, Alexander win the title, have a run, and have him feud with Tommy at WrestleMania for the Cruiserweight Championship. We'll see if they go with that or not. Then we had this segment with Alexa Bliss coming out and mentioning, she's excited about the announcement for the Women's Royal Rumble, mentioning how 2017 has been the year of Alexa Bliss, which I'll give to her. She has some improvements I think she can still make. So I think she's had a really good year, starting off as SmackDown Women's Champion. She was a two-time SmackDown Women's Champion this year, came over to Raw, and is now a two-time Raw Women's Champion. So despite not getting much of a title opportunity at all down on NXT, she's done a solid job so far. Again, she could probably just sharpen up some of her skills a little bit, but for what she's done this year, I'm pleased with her. Definitely one of the top women's wrestlers on the roster. Tia Coupon says hashtag save us Cedric, definitely. But she also goes on to say the reason why the Royal Rumble is happening for the women is because of her and what she's all accomplished this year. And then she's interrupted by Asuka. And at first I thought they were going to tease a match between these two, before the Royal Rumble. But Asuka's out just to announce her entrance into the Royal Rumble. And she says because nobody is ready for Asuka. And she hits Alexa Bliss with a kick to the head, more vicious kick, saying, I'm coming for you, whatnot. So Asuka's in the Rumble. She's got to win it. And I'd say, again, as I keep saying, either I'd say at the Rumble or Raw 25, Paige needs to win the Raw Women's Championship. I don't want her to win it at the Elimination Chambers. I don't want her title reign to be brief. I am expecting a women's Elimination Chamber match, but again, I just don't want that. I just want it to be looking like a title reign that Bray Wyatt had. I want Paige to hold that title for at least like 2 or 3 months, I'd say. So that's why I'd say, let her win it at either Raw 25 or the Royal Rumble. Plain and simple. That'd be awesome. But that wasn't too bad. In this main event, we had now the decision with how this happened with the winner of this match. I mentioned see where this goes, but the match itself wasn't really that great in my opinion. The Raw tag titles, it was Seth Rollins and Jason Jordan versus Sheamus and Cesaro, The Bar. Match is kind of underwhelming. Wasn't really that exciting. I mean, it kind of made sense with the storytelling there. Here, they threw these, with Ambrose hurt, they threw Kurt Angle, Jason Jordan got thrown into the mix with Seth Rollins. But again, if they are teasing, they've been slowly teasing that Jason Jordan heel turn. Tonight he even did the same thing too, mentioning how he says, I'm a good replacement for Dean Ambrose, and Rollins mentions how nobody replaces Dean Ambrose. So you're not Dean Ambrose. He's like, and Jordan's like, you're right, I'm not. I'm better than Dean Ambrose. I'm not him, but I'm better than him. So they've had their differences the past few weeks, but they seem they were to coexist. But Rollins did most of the work in this match. Jordan just, for the most part, did the finish, hitting grand amplitude on Cesaro for the victory. And Seth Rollins and Jason Jordan are the tag champions now for Raw. I wonder if, the thing is, I don't want this to lead to a match between Rollins and Jordan for WrestleMania. If they're putting the Dean Ambrose heel turn, the Jason Jordan heel turn momentum on what I think they're going to do with the Dean Ambrose heel turn momentum, since rumors have it now that that since Dean Ambrose may not be back for 9 months, he's probably not going to be for WrestleMania, of course. So that roles reverse match that I predicted between Rollins and Ambrose for WrestleMania, I keep talking about, probably cut and scratch. Probably not till maybe next year's WrestleMania. Robbie says, Carmella in Winter Wonderland, Fabulous. Merry Christmas, Mike. Yes, thank you, Robbie. Thank you for the Christmas wish as well. Hope you had a good Christmas as well, buddy. But yeah, so I'm wondering now if there's transitioning, the momentum for Jason Jordan turning heel into the storyline of how Dean Ambrose is supposed to do so. But if anything, have Jason Jordan eventually face Kurt Angle, which I think would be better. Jason Jordan, Seth Rollins at WrestleMania, I don't know. You could have them battle in the Elimination Chamber and have like a non-pay-per-view feud, up until WrestleMania. But again, what would be next? What would Seth Rollins do? That's the only thing. And who, I don't know, what would the storyline between Triple H and Kurt Angle be? Also, not sure, but we'll see where it goes. Rollins and Jordan are tag champions. Probably not going to be champions for too long, though. Again, maybe they'll drop into the Revival, the Royal Rumble, as I probably planned Rollins and Ambrose would probably do, or at Raw 25. We'll see what happens. But yeah, that's pretty much Raw. Again, nothing really too much to say, really. Again, it's just, yes, non-title feuds matter. Exactly, Robbie. But again, I just kind of breezed through this episode of Raw. There wasn't really much to talk about. I like the stuff with Roman Reigns and Samoa Joe, Asuka announcing her entrance into the Rumble. Cool. But than that, again, I said I didn't catch this whole show, but I just checked out the highlights to just read what happened. This show is very skippable. I'll give it a C-, if anything, just to be nice, C-. But yeah, that's it for the Christmas edition of Monday Night Raw for 2017 live. Again, it's a shame this happened, and Superstars didn't get to spend the Christmas with their family. The product's not being booked well around this time of the year, and why even go live? When that's the case, it's waste your money on it and whatnot. But that is it, guys. Again, thank you again. Hope you all had a good Christmas. Again, I did too. Getting my phenomenal T-shirt and my GoPro camera, which again I look forward to using. What are your thoughts on this episode of Raw? Leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. Actually, also I did post a poll on Twitter. See if anybody voted on it. If nobody voted on it, I don't blame you guys because no one cares about this episode of Raw. Let's see here. Yep, nobody voted as I expected. That's completely fine with me. I don't blame you guys. I didn't really want to review this Raw either, but just for the heck of it, why not? But yeah, I give this Raw a C-, D+ with TN coupon. Okay, I was leaning towards D+ also, but again, the stuff with Roman and Joe was good. The results of Jordan and Rollins with the tag titles could lead to something interesting, for Jordan at least. But it's still, the match is still underwhelming and whatnot. The announcement with Asuka and the Rumble was cool with me. Robbie says, "Hey guys, I asked Santa for my Ruby Raya ice cream bars, Ruby with 1 T." Did you get him, Robbie? But yeah. So other than that, really wasn't anything else I really enjoyed. Pretty much. Again, I was really disappointed with the John Cena appearance. Also, just squashing Elias pretty much, but I'm not going to keep ranting about this Raw. What are your thoughts on this? Leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. Please be sure to also click that like and subscribe for more content on this channel. I'll probably be live tomorrow night for SmackDown and Tuesday night for NXT. And Robbie didn't get his Ruby Riot ice cream bars. Crap. And yes, sometime this week, again, I also want to do my bold prediction for 2018. And if you haven't done so yet, Saturday afternoon, I will be doing a live end of the year Q&A. If you haven't done so yet, you may leave your questions in the comments section for the video I posted regarding that. So I'll be doing that live. That'll mostly wrap up the year for my channel there. And as always, and before I go off here, also Robbie says, you know what happens when Santa doesn't bring me my Ruby Riot ice cream bars? Santa just made Robbie's list. Oh boy, poor Santa. Oh, well, maybe next year, Robbie. But yeah, thank you guys again for tuning into this live review. Again, hope you all had a great Christmas. And, for me, the festivities are not over yet. Still, visit some, distant relatives and whatnot. And yeah, just continue to enjoy, the Christmas season. Again, I'll be, continue, have the tree lit up in the background this week and probably next week. And after that, we usually do keep our Christmas decorations up until after the feast of the Epiphany, which is not next Sunday, but the following Sunday. Usually after that is when we usually take down our Christmas decorations. But so yeah, the tree will still be around for just a couple more reviews. But this is the last Raw review of 2017. Again, just subscribe, like the video, leave your thoughts down in the comment section below. And with that, guys, I am out. So Merry Christmas to all, and to all a good night.